everybody! Here we are on our very last day of Creation Vacation Bible School. Day 6 and Day 7 we're going to go over today. On Day 6, God created all of those amazing animals, all the creatures from like that little tiny bug crawling on the ground to the giant
elephant.
Yep, or the really tall giraffe and all the different creatures in between. And then God made something very special that day as well. He made Adam and Eve because he wanted a companion. He wanted someone to talk with him and spend time with him. And that's really what the Bible's all about, is that that's a way that we can grow closer to God. So now I think maybe everyone's kind of got the hang of our song and our different sign language. You think so? So let's go ahead and sing it. Let's sing it together, and then we'll sing it with an echo. Okay? So you're going to start with your little cup that you're going to put in. Ready?
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth.
Now let's try repeat. Ready? In the beginning,
In the beginning,
God created
the
heavens and the earth.
the heavens and the earth.
In the beginning,
In the beginning,
God created
the
the heavens and the earth.
heavens and the earth.
Good. I hope everyone has gotten that down. And we'd like to actually see, next week we're going to post some videos of Alexis singing it with sign language. And we'd like to see some of you all singing it with sign language as well. And maybe if I can figure it out, we can try to put you all together maybe. That would be kind of fun. And make like we can make a little video of everyone singing. So let's review our days of creation. So on day 1, God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the first day.
But I was about to say 5th.
Day 2.
That.
And actually it'd be fun for you all to tell the stories too with all your story cards and your story pictures. So on day 2, God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters." And so the sky was there and the waters were separated. And the evening and the morning were the second day. For some reason on day 2, it doesn't say, "And God saw that it was good." So maybe it's just because this was kind of just the start of what he wanted to do. Because he still wanted to bring up the land and he still wanted to put things in the sky. So maybe he wasn't quite ready for that yet. On day 3, God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass and seed, and let the fruit bear seed after its kind as well." And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. I'm looking down at my day 4 picture here. On day 4, our nighttime, our sun, moon, and stars. So God said, "Let there be a greater light to rule the day and a lesser light to rule the night, and let there be stars also." And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the 4th day. And yesterday, we made our fowl of the air and the fish of the sea. And after we stopped, I found, this spot over here was really empty, so I added on another little branch and put a little cute hootie owl there. So God created all the fowl of the air and all the creatures of the sea.
I just noticed something.
What?
That it's opposite, because my branch was on this side, but now it's on this side.
That's right. When you do the facing camera, it actually will show it opposite.
And then now I'm thinking, wait, your owl was on the other side.
Right. So it's opposite. So and God saw that it was good.
So good.
And the evening and the morning were the 5th day. Now we're on to the 6th day. So on the 6th day,
It's empty.
yeah, it's empty. We still have to make our 6th day. So on the 6th day, whoops, my Bible got turned here. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so.
Good.
And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. So that's all of the things that creep, the little things and the big things. And God saw that it was
So good.
Yeah, and at the very end, he says it was very good. At the very, very end, when he looks at his whole creation. So we're going to get right into our watercolor today because we actually are doing 2 today. We're doing both day 6, and day 7. So again, you can have your paper horizontal or you can have it vertical. I'm actually going to make mine horizontal so that I have a little bit more room for all the creatures. I'll probably put a tree on the side over here, maybe a tree over here, and we're going to make room for all the creatures. And we have to fit little Adam and Eve in there too. So today we're going to do our watercolor a little bit different. We're going to start with a permanent marker and we're going to draw the animals first. But if you're unsure of your drawing skills, or it might be better to start with a pencil. So if you want to start with a pencil and then after that you can actually trace over it with a permanent marker, or you can watercolor it, let it dry, and write it over with a permanent marker. So there's a few different options on how you can make your animals today. But I need some help knowing what animals and what creatures we should put on our day 6 paper. So does anybody have a favorite animal? I'd love to hear some favorite animals. And while you are thinking of your favorite animals, I'm going to switch around our camera and get it ready to draw.
Pretty sure you just click it twice. Or not.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so we've got our paper down. Does anybody have any favorite animals that we should draw on our paper today? What about you, Alexis? What's your favorite animal?
This might be a harder one to draw, but how about an elephant?
Yeah, we could definitely draw an elephant. We can definitely make an elephant work. So I have my paper horizontal here. And I'm going to think, since the elephant's a bigger one, I think I want to put the elephant all the way to the right. I feel like that's a good one for all the way to the right. So if you want to make an elephant too, you can. Ooh, Noah says an alligator. That's a really good one. Good. So we'll do our elephant coming in on this side, and I feel like the alligator would be good coming in on this side. So I'm going to start on my right side. You can do your elephant wherever you'd like to on your paper. So an elephant's kind of a fun draw, and in fact, something we can do is we can make some of the animals seem like they're at the foreground of our picture, and some animals can be a little farther back. Oh, and the Martinez girls say horse. That's a good one too. So I'm going to make my elephant just to kind of its head coming up here a little bit. Oh, and James says a giraffe. Oh, these are really good animals. We're going to have some good animals on our papers today. So let's go ahead and start making our... Oh, that is a good alligator. So we're going to start by kind of making his ear, which is kind of the shape of a number 3. So the elephant ear... See, I'm trying to see what size we want to do.
Maybe a size is on the other.
I think I am going to do my elephant on in the foreground. Maybe I'll make it. Maybe I will put it in the background. I think I'm going to do a smaller elephant, so that way we'll just put them all about the same size. So the elephant, his ear is kind of like the number 3, and then you're going to bring his head forward a little bit and swoop for his trunk, and then the trunk connects up here, and it connects to his mouth. I'm going to make his ear just a little bigger here. And then his body's fairly simple too. You just kind of give him a hump. Almost looks like a slide going down. And then he's got very large feet. And then we're going to go down in the front here as well. Give him another large foot.
So for my...
And a belly. And he needs a little tail.
And he needs eyes.
Actually, Alexis and I made some really cute, if you take your hand upside down. Oh, yeah, that's a very good alligator. Good. Actually, if you take your hand upside down, you can actually make a handprint elephant where the thumb is the trunk And there's the 4 legs, and then you draw on a little tail. We made Mommy and me handprint elephants that were cute. So here's our little elephant. We'll give him an eye.
Here, all creatures need eyes.
Yes. And I like making mine very happy. And I'm going to make some little lines on his trunk, too, to show all the wrinkles.
I can already tell by its eye it looks happy.
Yep, so there's our little giraffe. So I'm going to put the alligator coming in on this side.
Look at the alligator with his smile.
Yep, so Alexis has hers coming in on the right. I'm going to make my alligator coming in here on the left.
I'm thinking that maybe I should probably make its body, but...
No, that's okay. You can kind of do, because I was going to kind of just make his head kind of coming in a little bit, because he's going to be down a little bit lower, because I might put a little bit of water down here for our giraffe, or I mean for our alligator. So here's our alligator coming in here. Oops, let me move this a little bit so we can see better. There we go.
Oh, I have a good idea. That one's trying to bite onto another alligator's tail.
So there's the alligator, and you want to do like a circle here for his eyeball popping up, and a second circle for his other eyeball. And then you probably want his mouth open wide. And they kind of have jagged.
Right now he almost looks like a puppet.
He does a little bit look like a puppet, doesn't he? I actually think I like yours better than mine. So here's my cute little alligator. And then now let's make our horse. She's gonna be up here. Horses they're a little bit harder to draw. So I like to start with the ears of the horse. And that kind of gives you a little bit of a guide, and you kind of swoop down here. And you kind of give just a little curve for its jawline. And then kind of a diagonal line down for its mane and its back. And then we're going to kind of come down at an angle up here. There's one of his hoofs. This horse has a little bit of his shorter legs because he doesn't want to step on our poor alligator. And we'll put kind of one up here. One leg kind of back here, and then a tail and mane. I like making kind of curly hair there, and then there's his eyeball, and it's going to be a happy horse, and there's his little snout. So there's our little, and hoofs, don't forget hoofs. So we're going to separate that.
You can color them black. Yeah, color them black.
Well, we'll paint them a little bit later. So we have a horse, and now we need our giraffe. Let's see, is that all the animals that we have? So we've got alligator, horse, giraffe, and an elephant.
My alligator looks a little weird because it's showing its body.
No, I like it. I like it. So now we're going to put our giraffe right in the middle because our giraffe's nice and tall. So the giraffe kind of starts off very similar to the kind of the horse's head a little bit. Or let's have our giraffe facing the front. That would be kind of cute. So if we do that, we're going to have like an oval. This is where his little snout's going to be. And there's his happy face. And then we're going to bring up lines on either side for his head. We're going to give him some ears. And some horns. There. And some happy eyes, of course. And then, of course, he needs a very long neck.
That was the happy face.
Yeah, so here's his very long neck.
That's a happy giraffe.
And he's going to kind of be behind the elephant a little bit here. And again, he's got legs very similar to the horse's legs.
Although not so short.
Right, so his probably would be even a little longer than that. So there we go. And then, of course, he needs spots. But I think we're actually just going to paint the spots. I don't think we're going to worry about drawing the spots. So did I get everyone's favorite animal? I think we do, except for Alexis. Did you give me your favorite animal, or did you say elephant?
I'm pretty sure I said
Oh, yeah, I think maybe you said the elephant. So here we have all of our creatures. Now we're going to work on...
I have like 2 creatures.
Yeah, painting the background of our jungle. But I also want to give a little bit of water down for our alligator here. So since it's a background, remember we do want to have a little extra water on our paper. So we'll give just a little extra, let me move those around. So we're just going to give a little extra water. And then you're actually not even going to put the colored paint that close to your creatures. because you're just gonna use the water to spread it in. And that way, and if you do get a little paint on your creatures, that's okay too. Luckily, watercolors they're great for making layers of and overlapping. There. So get lots and lots of water all over your page here. And then if you want, depending on if you want, since mine are animals are kind of going to be in the jungle, I'm actually just going to make green background up at the top. But if you want to make a sky, you can if you want your animals more out in the open. But I'm actually going to make my animals all inside the jungle. So I'm going to put green all around, but then I'm going to give my alligator some water down here. So I think I'll start with the water for my alligator. And actually, since the alligator is green, the green paint's really nice on top of the blue. So it really doesn't matter if you get any blue paint on your alligator. So I'm going to paint some blue water. I only need just a little bit of blue, because as you can see, it really can spread out, especially when you have a lot of water on your paper. The blue will really spread out a lot. And we don't need too much water, because most of it's going to be in the jungle. We just want this cute little alligator to get be in some water. So there, we're going to let that water dry. And then the rest will be painted green. So I've got a couple shades of green. I'm going to start with all my light green. And then after the background dries, we can go on and put some trees in our background as well. So we'll get our background all wet. And we can even maybe put some lighter at the top. We can put some of the darker green at the bottom. There. And there's so many creatures. We could fill up our whole page with creatures if we wanted to. There's so many creatures that God made. And I love how he created each one different, and how he has such a sense of humor with some of the animals as well. And he thought of all the little things, like how the giraffe would need to eat tall, tall trees. So guess what? He has a really long neck. And he knew the alligator would want to eat lots of meat. Then he would need some sharp, sharp teeth. So God thought of all the details when he created the animals. So I know you all told me your favorite animal. I'm wondering, which animal do you think is kind of just an interesting animal that God made? What do you think, Alexis? What's an interesting animal? I know we've talked about the platypus, right? What a funny creature that one is.
An octopus?
An octopus too. That's another creature that really there's a lot of humor in that. Let's see. I think we're going to figure out where we want to put Adam and Eve. I think I'm going to put Adam and Eve. I might put them hiding, kind of peeking around behind the giraffe here. So wherever you want to put Adam and Eve, you're going to make sure that there's not a lot of paint there. And if you need to, you can add more water to that area, or you can also use a paper towel too to spread it out. So figure out where you want to paint Adam and Eve, because they are going to need a little bit a lighter background area so you can paint on top of them. But we're going to make them kind of small. It's just going to be kind of the outline, like they're kind of back into
the Eve could be riding the horse, and then Adam could be sitting on the giraffe.
Yeah, that would be cute. But it's very tricky to draw people. So we're trying to simplify things. So we're going to make it so that Adam and Eve are kind of just in the background by some of the trees. So there, we've got pretty much all our background here. And then we'll be able to start painting our little creatures. I'm going to put a little more green around the horse. There, I'm going to put, oh, you know what? Let me put a little more green down here too. See, look, because I have the fan on, it's really hot here today. So
Whoa.
I've got, oh, you know what? A little piece of red paint got stuck on here. So I'm going to wipe this up.
That of course
There.
looks like it's bleeding. I'm just kidding.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to paint some stuff on here and then let it dry while we go on to our day 7 paper. So there we're going to kind of get some green around here. Some green over here. There. And I just need, on my top of mine, I just need a little bit more to kind of spread that out. There we go. So we're going to let this dry a little bit, and we're going to work on our day number 7. So on day 7, that's when God rested, but day 7 is still a very important day in the days of creation. So what we're going to do for day 7 is we're going to actually work on a background technique. That's why we need the plastic wrap or the saran wrap. If you don't have plastic wrap or saran wrap, you could try to use wax paper. You could actually maybe use some of the bubble wrap that comes in packages. Just something plastic that will give some texture to your watercolor. Whoops. So I'm going to put that there. Hopefully it won't leak on anything. There. So here's our day 7 paper. When God rested, and that's when God saw everything was very, very good at the very end.
You should draw him sleeping. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes that is the ways. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a picture that's very much like a dream. So in the middle, when it's all dry, we're going to write the word rest, because that's when God rested. And he gave us a good example of that. We need to work hard, really hard 6 days of the week, but it's okay. We need rest. So it's okay to have a rest day. And it's a day too that we can learn more about God, read our Bible more, and spend more time praying. So for our day 7 paper, kind of picture the middle kind of staying very light colored, and the outside can be a lot darker. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill our whole paper with water. In fact, I meant to grab a bigger paintbrush too for the water. So we're just going to put a lot of water on here, because we're going to have our I'm going to put droplets on. So you can use different colors for your day 7, and I want you to think of, for your day 7 colors, think of your rainbow order: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. You want to pick 3 colors, but they need to be next to each other in the rainbow. And pink actually goes along with red. So red and pink are in the same category. So you could either do red, orange, yellow. You could do yellow, green, blue. You could do blue, purple, pink. Or you could even do green, blue, purple too. But you want to pick 3 colors that are close to each other. And that way when they mix together, they'll make a pretty color. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drop some paint on mine. But you can also take your paintbrush, put some paint on it, and then just dab it around, kind of like how we did our night sky as well. And I'm going to be using these glitter liquid watercolors that I got from Discount School Supply. These are a lot of fun, and they're also fun with coffee filters and things. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some dots kind of around the edge of my paper.
Bleeding so much.
Yep. And I'm going to kind of, again, I'm going to try to keep my middle without too much paint. I'm going to want a little bit of paint on my middle, because we don't want it completely white.
Fireworks. It looks like fireworks.
So I want to hear, what are some things that other people like to do on their rest day? What are some things that people like to do on their rest day? Alexis, what do you like to do on rest day? Sometimes we like to read. Reading's a fun thing to do on rest day. Sometimes we might watch a movie on rest day. So what are some other ways people enjoy resting? I have actually a special devotion book.
That one's not bleeding.
Yep, that's okay, because that means, you know what some of it is because actually we've got the fan on, so that's kind of drying the paper a little bit. But that's okay.
Here's a wet spot.
Yeah, that's okay. So what we'll do is we're going to take our paintbrush. The ones that aren't filling in, we'll take our paintbrush too.
Wait, right there. Right there.
Oh, tea time. Oh, that's That is right up my alley.
Blue and pink made purple.
Isn't that pretty? Yeah, I actually drink tea every day. I'm not even a coffee drinker. I love tea, and we have tea parties quite often. At least before the coronavirus we did. We haven't had a tea party in a while, but so then the parts here that you can see that are white, you can kind of just take your paint or take your water and add some to and kind of swirl around. Because again, it's okay that that they bleed together because you chose colors that will go together. So that's why it's important
to
not...
a firework exploding.
It does a little, yeah. So you don't want to choose things like if you chose orange and green and put them together.
That would look terrible.
Yeah, well, it would mix into a brown color. So, and that might be something that somebody might want the look of. But that's also why you wouldn't want to mix too many different colors. So, yep, so right now, see? And then you see how it's kind of just swirling all together. And again, you can kind of swirl it too. We don't want to spread it too much, but you can swirl it in the different areas.
It's getting on the tablecloth.
I know, you know what I should have done is I should have put this on a tray. So I think I'm going to very carefully move this over to a tray. So here, Alexis, can you hold it on there?
Yeah.
Very good. And then why don't you tell everybody what you like to do for rest time?
We like to watch movies and we read together, and sometimes we go places as a family, and
Maybe take a nature walk?
yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
Yeah, so kind of like a nice nature walk. So there, I put mine in a tray now. And what we're going to do, and then what I'm going to have you do, Alexis, is go ahead and take the paper towel and wipe that all up so it doesn't get on our animal paper. So we've got pretty much the paint where we want it. Of course, it's kind of buckling in the middle there. We pretty much have the paint where we want it. Good. So now, Alexis, I'm going to have you hold this over so I can show everybody how to put the saran wrap on it, or plastic wrap. So I need you to hold it all the way up here. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to take your saran. My saran wrap happens to be green, so I'm hoping that actually that doesn't make a difference on my page. But you're going to take your saran wrap. Oh. And you're just going to take it and put it on top of your watercolor painting.
Whoa, that is cool.
Isn't that cool? And then we're going to make it just kind of do little crinkles all around in different shapes. So we're going to kind of push it around, crinkle it all around, and then that's going to be the design that it's going to leave. There. So we're just going to leave your saran wrap on there and let it sit probably overnight. It usually takes, depending on the moisture where you are, it might take about overnight to dry. So we're going to let that dry.
So cool.
I know they're cool. I know this is kind of fun, isn't it? So then, yeah, you just kind of pinch it where you want it, and it's going to give this really cool texture. Okay, so we're going to let that dry to the side. You want to put that over on the counter, please? And now we'll come back to our adorable little creatures. We'll kind of wipe up our table. Luckily, we have our tablecloth down. And we're going to come back, because now this is plenty dry, to paint Adam and Eve. And then we'll let you guys paint your creatures on your own time there. Because otherwise, we might be here for a couple hours doing that. All right, so we're going to paint Adam and Eve. I think I'm going to put my Adam and Eve right behind there. Let me make sure it's still a little bit wet. So you know what? I'm going to start with my trees. So this time, I'm going to make a palm tree with some coconuts. So I think I'm going to put my palm tree over here behind my elephant. So you can make your plants and everything however you'd like. But I'm going to I think I'm going to do a palm tree kind of on one side, and maybe even a palm tree on both sides, since we did regular trees the other day, like apple trees and cherry trees. Here, I'll scooch over, Alexis. There. And we've enjoyed having people join us this week. I know the Payton family and the Martinez family, you've joined us every day, and we We're glad you were able to join us in learning about God's creation.
I feel like...
And I'm wondering, do any of you have a favorite creation day? Just like Chippy Chipmunk actually liked all of them, didn't he?
I feel like when I put the water on the paper, it gets more white.
Mm-hmm. Does look a little whiter, doesn't it? So my palm tree is going to kind of go at an angle like this. Wait, you're going to have to wait, Alexis. You have to wait, sweetie, because we need to put it on a tray and stuff. But what we can do is you can do your animals right now. So we have the edge of our palm tree. And then what I like to do is I kind of like to go with like a checkered pattern a little bit. A diagonal checkered pattern. And we'll kind of go a diagonal line on one side and then a diagonal line on the other side. And it kind of gives a cool look and a cool texture to our palm tree. So I think we'll do another little palm tree over here. We'll kind of have it come in at the edge here. And then we'll kind of have it coming up here a little bit. Okay, and I'll do the same thing. We're going to do diagonal lines back and forth, and it kind of gives the palm tree kind of a cool look to it there. All right. And then we will come back over here. I might actually dab some of my area. If your area where Adam and Eve are supposed to be is still kind of wet, maybe go ahead and dab it a little bit to make sure it's plenty dry. There. And I'll go ahead and we'll make the palm trees or the palm leaves while we're waiting on that. All right, so we're gonna so to make palm leaves are kind of fun to make. I usually make my palm tree with 4 kind of arms coming out, almost like a fireworks. I do 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's kind of like a firework a little bit. And then off of each firework, you kind of just kind of like how we did the bird feathers as well. We're just going to do a bunch of little lines. And there, it looks just like a little palm tree. Palm trees are definitely some of my favorites. And when we think too of God's creation, how each little aspect is so different. Like when we think of the jungle and how lush everything is in the jungle, but then you go to the desert and there's just the beautiful cactus and everything. There's just such uniqueness to so many different landscapes that God made and so many different creatures. And in fact, we're going to be doing a series on animals around the world starting on Wednesday, September 23rd, where we're going to actually, every Wednesday, we're going to go through different types of animals, and we're going to go and explore each continent and the different animals that live on that continent. So same thing with your other palm tree. You're just going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you're going to give the little lines off of here. Another thing that's very amazing about God's creation is that, we can create things. We're creating things with, paints and papers and water, and you can create things with glue and scissors. But God, all he had to do was, he didn't even have to speak it. All he had to do was think it, and everything appeared. That's how powerful and amazing God is. So there's my little palm trees. So now let's go ahead and put our, looks like they're dry enough to do some little coconuts. So we're going to put a couple little coconuts in our palm trees, and then we're going to make Adam and Eve. And then we will show you remember our puppet show, we said we have a special guest for our puppet show today. So I like to do 3 coconuts. I just think that the 3 kind of looks good. So I'm going to do 1, 2. Actually, that paintbrush is a little too big. Use a smaller one. Here we go. So 1, 2, and 3 little coconuts. And over here 2. Give this one 3. 1, 2. Yum, yum. I love coconuts. So there's our cute little coconuts. And let's go ahead and make Adam and Eve. So since we're just kind of making them in the background, they're going to be pretty distant. They're going to be far away. So if you have any sort of like a skin color, or you can do a very light, you can do orange even, or a brown. And that way you can get all sorts of different shades of color. So we're just gonna put Adam and Eve right here in the background, kind of saying hi. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give them each a circle head. Adam will be a little bit taller. There, so we'll make Adam a little bit taller. And Adam and Eve were created differently than the rest of creation. All the other creation, God just spoke, and it was so. Whereas with Adam and Eve, God actually took the dust of the ground to create Adam. He said, from dust you were created, dust you will return. And then with Eve, he actually took Adam's rib out. And that's how he made Eve, because he wanted woman to come out of man. And he also wanted to represent that that when a man and wife are married, they become one flesh. So it's kind of cool how God made humans just a little bit different than he did the rest of his creation. And God has no beginning. Oops, I guess I should have made them just a little bit shorter. Well, all right, so we'll give them their little necks. So you can kind of you're kind of making a stick figure, but then you're going to fill it out. But it's kind of like a stick figure. There's the little neck. There's the arm. And his body. So you're just kind of making the stick figure like this, but then putting a little extra paint on each side just to fill them out a little bit. So there's little Adam there. And we'll make Eve standing next to him. And God made Eve for his helpmeet. Because here Adam went through, he named all the creatures in the garden. And he could not find a helpmeet. He just couldn't find anybody to have a special relationship. And same thing with God. God saw all the creatures and he loved everything he made. But he couldn't quite find somebody to have a relationship with like he could with humans, with Adam. They were feeling the same way. So there's their bodies. We're going to give Eve some very, very long hair. And we don't know what color Eve's hair was, but I always guess that it's kind of brown. That's always been my guess, is that, yeah, she has brown hair. So we're going to give her really long brown hair. And I think I want to make her kind of wavy brown hair.
I pictured her with long hair because she could never cut her hair.
Right, and God does talk about that, that the long hair is something special for a woman. So yeah, I think God probably gave Eve some long hair too. So we'll give her very, very long hair. You just kind of keep going back and forth, making little waves. And there, look at all that beautiful hair she has. And we're going to give Adam, he's going to have shorter hair.
His hair was probably a little longer because he couldn't shave or cut his hair. So
right. So we'll give him some.
Imagine it maybe just about like a few inches above his shoulder.
Maybe, yeah. And you know what? I'm going to give Adam a beard too. There we go. So Adam's going to have his beard. There we go. And then what we'll do is after those dry, we'll draw in their faces too. And we won't go through coloring all the animals with you all because, like I said, that'll take us a long, long time. So, but there we have our animals on day 6. I'll read you the story here for day 6. Let's see. Oh, here we go. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing and beasts of the earth after his kind. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let us make man in our image. And when it says our image, it's talking about the triune being, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit. After our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it. Have dominion over it. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed. And he goes on to talk about the fruit of the trees. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very
so
good. Yeah, this time it was very good when he looked at the whole picture of everything he made. And the evening and the morning were the sixth day. And thus the heavens and earth were finished. So let's see, where are our heavens and earth? So here we'll go for here's some of our heavens and our sky.
Whoa.
Here's our sky. And they were all finished. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he made. And I always think of like the calm and the cool of the water and the sky, and how restful that is to listen to that and watch that. And he rested on the seventh day from all its work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. And when we think of all these different things that we've painted that God created, it is truly amazing. And he had rested from all the work which God created and made. It was a big deal. Oh, I think I hear somebody. Oh, who do I hear?
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, the heavens and the earth. In the beginning, God created God.
Wait, everybody, wait just a minute. I'm the star of the show here. I should be the one singing the song. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Wait a minute, Miss Piggy. We like your singing. Well, of course you do. It's beautiful. But isn't it nicer if we can all sing together? Well, I don't know, but then I can't be the star of the show. Aren't I the best? Well, actually, there's somebody that's better than all. Who is it, Maddie Monkey?
It's God.
Oh, yeah. God is better than me. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Well, good. Did you enjoy the story today? Well, of course I did. It was about creating pigs like me. And little mice and monkeys and chipmunks, too. Well, we're glad you want to include us, Miss Piggy. We appreciate that. Well, maybe it doesn't have to always be all about me, but could I at least have a solo next time? Yeah, we could probably figure that out. All right. Bye, guys. Bye, Miss Piggy. Well, we're so glad you got to join us for our Creation Vacation Bible School. They were all my favorite days. I just love God's creation.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for our Creation Vacation Bible School this week. We had so much fun sharing things with you, and we're glad that we got to meet some new friends along the way. We just wanted to end with a little prayer, thanking God for everyone and for his creation that he made. Dear Jesus, we thank you for the chance that we're able to get together and learn more about you and learn about your creation. We thank you so much for all of the wonderful things you made, and that we can marvel at in them and enjoy them every single day. And we just pray that we'll all just take some little extra time this week and every day just to think about your creation a little bit more, and try to think of something every day to thank you for that you've created. It's such a beautiful creation you made in a beautiful world, and we thank you for it. We love you, Jesus. Amen. Thanks again for watching, everybody. We'll stay tuned. Bye.